The Liquefy filter is very useful when you need to add some weight to a character, to add some little bit of movement to the scarf, or to thin a character out. You can even make someone who looks happy angry and someone who looks angry happy. It works like putty so that you can pull and stretch the pixels in your image. It lives under the filter menu and it's right here, Liquefy. Let's talk about some of the tools we'll be working with in this cool tool. All right, the first tool we have is the forward warp tool. What this tool will do is move pixels when you click and drag on them. So I can then click on it, move it down, and that kind of thing. So I can go ahead and take this hat, and I can change the entire feel of it. And sometimes it takes a little while to calculate, so let's give this a little bit of time, and I'll go ahead and continue. Unlike the smudge tool, it doesn't deform the pixels too much if you're careful. One thing that you can always rely on, though, is the next tool if you need to go back in time. So let's say I pull this hat way out here, and I go over here and I do the same thing. And I'm like just clicking and dragging, and I can't stop myself. I can click here and paint backwards, and it goes back to the original state. Likewise, over here we have the same ability with the reconstruct and the restore all. So once again, let me go ahead and just deform this and click reconstruct a couple times or restore all one time. I can also change my brush options here. So if you want to change your brush size and any other settings, feel free to use these sliders. We also have the ability to twirl things with the twirl clockwise tool. So I can click and move my mouse and twirl. I can also click and hold my mouse down and twirl will happen by itself. So I'll click right here at the bottom of the scarf and just hold the mouse down and it twirls it for me. Likewise, if I want to go in the opposite direction, I hold Alt or Option. And that works for quite a few of the tools. So I'm going to paint back the hat a little bit and his face. The next tools are quite fun. We have the tool that allows you to pucker, to bloat, and to push left. So I'm going to increase the size of my brush, and I'll click in the hat, and I'll squish it down. So now we're squishing his head up, and we are just changing the whole scope of the artwork. I'll go ahead and increase reduce the size of the hands, and I'll use the bloat tool to make his stomach quite large. Not that it wasn't already. So you can have a lot of fun with these tools. It's like one of those mirrors you'd find in an amusement park. The kind with those really scary clown people. Now we also have this tool here called push left, and it works in a very interesting way. If you move your mouse down, it will push the pixels to the right. I'll go ahead and undo that, and if I move my mouse up, it pushes the pixels to the left. It's weird, so you might want to just experiment with that one. One of the tools that I don't use ever is the mirror tool, which is underneath it. And when I click and drag, it tries to mirror the geometry or the artwork so that it gives me a lot of volume here. So I can just move it around and mirror that, stuff like so. And once again, I try not to use it too much because I can't really get a good grasp of it and control it the way I want. You also have the turbulence tool, which allows you to add a little bit of jitter to your artwork, so you can get a little bit of irregularity in the line. If you want to protect things, you can use the mask tool, and when you want to get rid of the mask, use the thaw tool. So I'll go ahead and use this tool to draw a mask around the character's face, like so. Let's say I didn't want to mess with his face at all, and I just want to focus on the scarf. So I paint a mask like so. Then I can grab any of these tools, modify the artwork, and not affect what's covered by the red mask. Let's go ahead and thaw the snowman out with the thaw tool, and I'm sure he doesn't want to hear me say that out loud. Snowmen don't like that thaw thing, so I'm going to go ahead and paint that away. And you can use these tools like you can in regular Photoshop. I don't really click on this, I just hold the space bar down and I can move my document around if I'm zoomed in. So I'll go ahead and show you. I can do that with the spacebar or this, and I can zoom in and out with the zoom tool. So that is how you can use the awesome Liquefy filter to change the entire look of your artwork.